Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone for joining in today. I am Amanda Garcia. I am the program director for media and design. And today we have with us Rebecca Carr, who's the associate program director. We also have Dr. Tamar Gregorian, who is our professor of practice in media and public relations, as well as Alexis Stone, who is our senior academic advisor for all of our students within the media and design programs. So a little bit about Sopa, if you're unfamiliar. So Tulane University itself was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. And prior to being the School of Professional Advancement, we were the School of Continuing Studies. We have since then really changed our direction where we're offering more professional programs to traditional students as well as non-traditional working adults as well. So a little bit more about Sopa and what we offer specifically. We really have a depth of online learning as well as in person, but I think something that really sets us apart is that we have a full team of instructional designers who are building these classes. So we do have a ton of students that join us remotely from across the country. We have a couple of students right now who are joining us from New York. We have 2 in California. And so even with different time zones, we do have a great online structure in which we use Canvas. If you're familiar with that platform. And if not, it's super easy to use. But we make sure that all of our courses are aligned with the best possible learning activities to make your online experience very, very positive. And those are also synchronous courses, which means that they meet in person. A lot of times when you hear online classes, it's kind of scary where if you've had negative experiences with everything being online and you never see your, fellow classmates and you never see your faculty. That's not what we do here in these programs. So our instructional design team works very closely with our faculty to make sure that you have weekly meeting times, all of your materials are online, et cetera. And so it is a really, really great experience. We also have award-winning programs in faculty. In matter of fact, just last week, was our annual Addy Awards, in which our students within our design and interactive and advertising categories actually entered, and we won 34 total awards out of the 36 that were given. So I'd say that's pretty good odds. And so we also have many of our faculty who are working professionals are also award-winning for their own work, whether it's in different agencies, PR firms, et cetera. We also have a huge emphasis on student support and success. Not only do you have Alexis Stone, who is our most fabulous academic advisor, as well as the 3 of us, Professor Gregorian, Carr, and myself, who can help to support you with anything that may come up in terms of advising or challenges that you might be facing that you need to work through. But we also have a career advisor on staff with Sopa who can help you secure an internship, take a look at your resume, help you get your LinkedIn set up, all of those things. And we also have a ton of other great support for you, whether that's mental health services, scholarship services, et cetera. Something else that's really unique about Sopa is our affordability and flexibility. It's kind of funny. I just got off another Zoom call about an event coming up in Baton Rouge. And, I was talking about the Tulane program and they were like, yeah, it's just not affordable. Tulane's not affordable for some of our students. And I said, that's a common misconception, right? So different schools within Tulane have different pricing structures. Within Sopa, because we have mostly applied programs, our fees and our tuition is aligned with those jobs after graduation. And so we have much more affordable pricing structure than many other colleges and schools within Tulane proper. So once again, we'll get into that kind of toward the end, but just in general, the cost is about 1/3 of what the traditional undergraduate school cost is. We also have a ton of flexibility. So like I mentioned earlier, if you need to take online classes, those are available. We do have in-person classes as well. And then we have courses that are offered at night and on the weekends too. So many of our courses begin at 6 p.m. That gives you plenty of time to get off of work or deal with family matters and then log on. And then we also have some courses that are Saturday morning, if you're brave, Saturday morning courses that begin at 9 a.m. on Saturday, either in person or online. And then of course you have complete access to our Tulane alumni and network within Sopa. Any questions so far about what we've covered? No? Okay, great. So a little bit more about media and design. Rebecca, feel free to jump in if you want. Do you want to cover this part? Do you want me to cover it?
Go ahead. I'll cover this.
Sometimes I feel like I talk too much. Okay. So a little bit about media and design. So media and design covers a wide breadth of the media, public relations, advertising, digital marketing, and graphic design fields. So everything you see listed here. We decided about a year and a half ago to join forces, right? Where some of these programs are very segmented. But what we did was we took a look at the industry and realized that all of these different fields are so intertwined. Like, let's join forces and take over the world. Just kidding. But what we tried to do was create a very symbiotic relationship between all of these different areas. So whether we're sharing faculty between these different courses or we're collaborating, like right now, Professor Gregorian is collaborating with Professor Centurino, who's one of our digital marketing faculty, on a capstone course, which is super cool. And so they're bringing digital marketing principles, public relations principles, all of these great things into one capstone class. And those are the types of things that we can do now that we're in the same department. You can think of it as a department. So within this, we have advertising, and you'll see different structures in a second, digital marketing, graphic design, interactive UX UI, like app design, web design, as well as public relations, all under the same department. So we have different degrees that we offer for each of these areas. And I know those of you who are on the call today kind of probably know what area you're looking to go into, but I'm just going to kind of review them quickly, and then we can dig in a little bit deeper if you'd like. So a certificate, a professional certificate, can be earned in either public relations, digital media marketing, or advertising. This is 6 courses, which is 18 hours. Many people who go into the professional certificates, it usually takes them about 2-ish semesters to complete, depending. We definitely want to make sure that you've got, before jumping into certain courses, that you're taking things in order, right? So we do have a very rigid matriculation guide that shows you have to take this course, then you take this course, etc. So it definitely takes a minimum of 2 semesters, maximum, I would say, of 3. We also have certificates within the design field. So this is what we call a PostBack certificate, which I know some of you on here today are interested in. I see CC nodding yes. So PostBack certificates are if you already have a bachelor's degree, if you're already like working in the field of something, it can be completely unrelated. We have people coming to us from education, from culinary, et cetera, coming into these, or you might be in advertising and realize you want more information or more training in graphic design, as an example, right? Or you might be in graphic design and realize you need more web design, app design expertise. That's our UX UI track, right? So these are 10 courses. So it's a post-bac, right? So it's a little bit more rigorous. It's 10 courses, 30 hours. So typically those 10 courses will definitely take you probably 4 semesters, I would say, maybe 3 if you have some expertise in these areas already. So once again, they are very guided in terms of what you have to take first, second, third, and what you can take at the same time versus what needs prereqs. So this isn't something you can speed through, right? We can get you out of here in a reasonable amount of time, but you do need to take things in order. So it is, once again, 10 courses as versus the 6 for the professional certificates.
And a good chunk of our students are, wouldn't you say, I don't know the statistics, but a good chunk of our PBC students, but it's also nice to mix them. A lot of them come in with work experience. It's nice to mix them with students who are just starting out, getting their BA, and maybe have like a lot of computer savvy and stuff like that. So it's a good mix of students in each class.
And then, of course, we have our full bachelor. So if you're coming to us without a bachelor's degree or want to earn a second bachelor's degree, we have a lot of students that come to us in that same boat, where they may have a full bachelor's in fine art and now decide that they love digital marketing, let's say, and they want to get another bachelor's. If that's your case, we can take up to 60 credits. So half of your time must be here, what we call in residency with Tulane. But we can take up to 60 credits that you've already earned at another institution. So you could actually get a second bachelor's if that's interesting to you. Or if this is your first time, we have bachelor's in public relations, digital design, or digital media and marketing communication. So that's your traditional 120 credit hours, like it is across the nation. 36 credits are generally within your major in digital marketing and public relations. The next slide, I think, has no, okay. And then within the digital design field, I need to update that slide. We have 42 credits that are required as your major hours. Any questions so far about that? No, okay. And then we just wanted to show you some images of things that we do. I feel like one major differentiator between our programs and others in the area are that we really try to engage our students with the community as much as possible, whether that's through service learning projects, like bringing in clients into the classroom and working on real world clients, or if it's taking our students outside the classroom in these cases. So you can see these are some studio tours that students have gone on. Upper right corner, this is Addie's a couple of years ago, where again, we won a ton of awards. We're very excited. And then in the middle, our create little chalk mural here. This is in one of our production rooms out at our studios.
One of our students, this was a project that then she did, then painted on the wall. And
yeah. So if you're looking into going into a career in marketing or public relations, this is just a short list of the different types of fields you could go into. Tamara, did you want to hit on anything else maybe not listed here, or talk a little bit about these careers at all?
Sure. If you also want to jump to the next slide, I think it covers some of the coursework that I can correlate, if you don't mind. Oh, then maybe not. Never mind. All right. So in terms of, careers in the field, obviously this isn't an exhaustive list, and it'll depend on where you're, joining the market. Are you joining in as a, specialist or coordinator, which is usually an entry-level position, or are you getting in at the mid-level or even senior level? Maybe you're already there. Some students are already there and they just need the certificate to back it up, or the bachelor's because it's maybe in English, they're wanting to get it in PR. We have a lot of teachers who actually, kind of have decided to switch careers. So since their background is in education, they're joining, starting up a BA or a certificate. So various reasons why someone would do the programs, which is awesome because then you get, a student body that's kind of everywhere from just getting started to kind of also being able, like the faculty, to contribute to discussion. So in terms of, the PR world, again, you're starting either mid-level, entry-level, or, same goes for the advertising side or the digital marketing side. These are all really specific, as you can, PR specialist kind of general. So you're doing a little bit of everything. Maybe you're working in-house or in an agency. Same goes for advertising or digital marketing. But some of these titles are really specific, like digital ad manager, for example, or fundraising and development coordinator, because there are definitely some, really specific tasks that, you may apply to a job in the future, and it has a very specific role. We've also catered the program to not just cover the principles courses or the writing courses specific to PR for advertising, but also like we have SEO courses, CRM courses. On the PR side, we have nonprofit communication, health communication. We've really tailored the program to work with, to be aligned with the workforce very, very strategically. So we have an exciting batch of new classes, even special topics classes and classes that are being added to the curriculum, like social media influencer strategy. So it's a really exciting time, I guess, in a nutshell, to be part of the program.
Great, thank you. And then careers in design specifically. So if you're on the graphic design or interactive UX UI design tracks, you could expect to go into careers in many different fields, working either in-house, specifically at a brand. We have one student recently graduated, her name's Tamsin Jenkins, was an educator for years, came back to school, did one postback. She wouldn't leave. She kept doing another postback because she loved it. We loved her. We didn't want her to leave. So she completed basically 2 postbacks by the time she left. But she's now working for St. Jude as an in-house designer. So you could work for a specific brand that you love. Or you could work in an ad agency. You could work in a PR firm doing design work for them and their clients. You could work, in a digital marketing firm doing digital ad design, et cetera. So many different ways. You could also do freelance and do your own thing, right? If you're going into the interactive UX UI track, you could expect to find positions in those same types of companies, but more on the web design front end. So we're not, I would like to point out, we are not teaching coding necessarily for apps and app development and web development. That's a different major. You could minor in that, right? But that's not where our focus is. Our focus is on understanding some of the code. Like you will have a coding for designers class, but that's what it is coding for designers, where we give you just enough to be dangerous, right? But we don't expect you to develop from the back end. You are working on prototypes, so front end prototypes, so imagery, type, storytelling for web, for apps, all of that, creating working prototypes. And same for design, right? We're on, print, design for web, online design, et cetera. So all of those things, once again, front end, not so much on the back end code side, but entering into ad agencies, creative firms, in-house design jobs, whether you're going the UX, UI track or in the graphic design track. And we are very fortunate now. We've recently launched all of these professional organizations. So if you're interested in graphic design or interactive, we have the AIGA, which is the American Institute of Graphic Artists. And this is the national professional organization for that. The American Advertising Federation, this is really for everyone. Advertising as like an industry overall kind of houses everything that we do in media and design. So we encourage any student to be a member of this. And then we also have our PRSSA, our Public Relations Student Society of America. If you're in the PR track, but really we have some design students who are members of the PRSSA and love it. So I would highly recommend that as well for all students within media and design. And these organizations meet monthly or every other month. Many different, I think maybe on the next slide, there are some images, maybe not. We might need to add some of those in. Nope. Okay. We know some slides we're going to add just some examples, but we just, for example, had a headdress workshop. So all of our different students were invited to come. We made really cool Mardi Gras headdresses as part of the AIGA. We also are bringing in a speaker next month, Chip Kidd, that's kind of under the umbrella of some of our student organizations, et cetera. So we like to bring in guest speakers. We like to send students to conferences if we can swing it, that sort of thing. And then local activities and trainings as well within those orgs. And then in terms of, go ahead.
Right. No, I was just going to add that we also network with the local, the professional chapter. So we have a student chapter of PRSSA, for example, but then we network with the local New Orleans PRSA chapter. So aside from the national potential and exposure, you're also getting local exposure as well.
Absolutely. No, yeah, that's more important than, it's very valuable for job placement and networking and all of that. Yeah, thank you. And then in terms of resources, again, something I feel like sets our program apart is that we offer Creative Cloud for free to any media and design student. You have access to HubSpot, MedRack, LinkedIn Learning, which used to be lynda.com if you're familiar. I don't know how long I need to keep saying lynda.com. I don't know how many people remember that. Maybe it's just me because I'm old, but LinkedIn Learning. Purchase lynda.com. And there are these like amazingly beautifully produced, fabulous videos and trainings that kind of complement the rest of your education that you're getting. So if you're in a PR class and, there's something on, strategy that you just can't remember, or you need explained a different way, and you put it in the search in LinkedIn Learning, you will get 100 and something videos professionally produced by working professionals regarding that topic. I mean, it's just amazing. There's everything from Adobe Illustrator trainings to After Effects, motion graphics. So it's a really, really great resource. It's typically very expensive that we provide 100% free for any media and design student. Once again, as well as Google Analytics, Adobe Creative Cloud, HubSpot, et cetera. Yeah. Something else I would like to say, and we should definitely think about adding this when this becomes official, is that we are launching a new laptop program for all of our students. We're going to start to phase out the traditional labs that you would think of. We're still going to have the space and use it more as a creative collaboration space and teaching space. But the big computers that we have to spend a ton of money on, and then therefore we have to charge students fees for, are going to be going away in the next year. We're going to start phasing them out, and we're going to make sure that all of our students have a laptop that is just part of their fees. It's not something separate that you have to take out like a financial aid thing for. Like, it all kind of is looped into one pocket of, you know, your tuition. And it's like paid over time, so it's low, you know, et cetera. Anyway, and that's all just through Sopa. It's nothing additional, I should say. So it's going to be a really great program, and you will then, when you finish school, you will have that laptop, right, to just continue doing work and freelancing or whatever you want to do. So and you'll have a choice of like what you want to purchase, whether it's a PC or a Mac, et cetera, that's right for you and your track. So that's coming. So if any of you are starting at like fall, I would say, is when it's going to start being implemented. So kind of keep an eye out for that. And then, yeah, for applying, obviously super simple. I know some of you may have already started this process, but there is an online application at sopa.tulane.edu. It is $40 to apply, but we are waiving that because you attended this webinar today. So that will get waived. If you get to that slide and it won't let you pass through that, let me know, let one of us on this call know, and we can go ahead and put in that override. You just basically have to have a clear image of your government issued like valid ID. And then transcripts. So that's the thing that typically can hold up a process. So whether you're coming in from high school, we need your final high school transcript, which you may not have if you haven't graduated yet, right? Or if you already have an undergrad, et cetera, and you're going into the postback, we do need an official copy, like emailed from the university to us or mailed. I'm assuming email is probably how it's all done now electronically, but it has to come from them. It can't come from you. So, because it has to be official, you know? So that can sometimes hold up the process if the university has to physically initiate that. So we can take an unofficial just to get you admitted and approved. But before you can enroll in classes, we have to have the official one. So if you're trying to enroll for summer, I would like really start this process ASAP, because it, you know, can take some time. I just had to order a transcript randomly for like a house thing we're doing. And like, it was like, I got it within 24 hours. So just, you know, if your school has an electronic capability, it can happen very quickly. But if somebody physically in the office has to push it through, it can take some time. So just really keep that in mind as you're working toward these deadlines. So talking about tuition, we talked about that earlier on in the slides, but just so you can see here, starting in the fall, it's $576 per credit is, I think, where we are now. Fall 2022 is probably going to go up slightly. So keep an eye out for that. But once again, this is substantially lower than what you may expect for Tulane. There is financial aid available. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to make sure that we connect you with your financial aid advisor, et cetera, and we can do that. And then we also have many different types of aid as well. There's federal grants, federal loans. We are part of the Yellow Ribbon program. We do give a discount for our active duty military, K through 12 instructional staff, et cetera. So if any of these things apply to you, let us know, and we can make sure to get all of that inputted correctly for you. And these are various deadlines that are coming up for enrollment. Also, we do have something now, and we can send you to make sure all of this is updated properly, but we can offer a $200 scholarship or credit basically toward your account for early application. As you can imagine, it really helps us project courses and what we need to offer and make sure we have enough sections for everyone. So the earlier that we can get you in and get you registered, the better for us. So we offer an incentive for that. So if you can get your materials and enrollment in, if you're wanting to start in the fall by June 1st, if you're wanting to start by summer, April 15th, you know, oh, here we go. Okay, great. So summer is April 25th. Great. So we have another 10 days there. So April 25th would be for summer and get everything. And so, you know, you've got some time. You guys are joining at a great time. So I would start now. Once again, leave some time for those transcripts to get sent over. And then I believe that enrollment opens for summer and fall, typically around spring break. So probably like mid to end of March. So that gives us, you know, a few weeks to get you registered and to get that scholarship. Any questions for us? I know that was a lot of info. Cameron, CC, any questions?
I have a question. So I'm kind of unique in that I am already a Sopa student.
Okay.
So I'm a staff member at Tulane, and so I take 2 classes a semester for free using the tuition waiver. So I'm a kind of a special case because I know most people are not attending school at Tulane that way. But
Yeah.
I am currently at the very end of my BA. So I'm about to graduate from Tulane. So I was wondering how that might change my application process because I'm not graduated from Tulane yet. And also this is being transferred from one Sopa department to another.
Yeah, Alexis, do you know?
Yeah, so once you're still gonna have to complete an admissions application, or are you a current Sopa student right now, or you're just a current?
Yes.
Okay, so admissions probably is going to have to, I don't think they're gonna make you do a whole new application because you're already a student. That'd be something we have to verify with admissions though, because your record is gonna have to get changed from BA to PBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can work with admissions just to verify to make sure you don't have to do a whole new application. But all the courses you took are still going to be there. We just have to make sure that your record gets changed to the appropriate, major.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to mention that summer and fall registration, the first day is April 6th, but depending on what your credit hours are, your time ticket is based upon earned credit hours. So every student is going to have a different time ticket. So when you log into Gibson, you'll be able to see what your first day of registration is. Just FYI for any new students.
What are you getting your BA in? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm not getting a Sopa major. That's kind of the issue. That's why I'm such a weird case. I was grandfathered in because my BA is in anthropology and environmental studies.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, anthropology is totally going to help you. Are you going design or interactive?
Design.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you still have to take the UX class, which we hit on cultural anthropology in there and how human experience affects human understanding of experiences, whether that's in the print or web environment. And so, yeah, it's really fun. So that'll tie straight in. That'll be great. Awesome. Cameron, any questions from your end or anything we can help you with? Not right now. Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, if y'all need anything, feel free to reach out. We're here. All of us are here to answer anything that you might need. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you in classes come summer or fall. Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.